Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing Ehlers 2-pole Butterworth filter. But before we do, if you have not watched our first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that now. At the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below. You can also find a link to sign up for TradingView down below. If you use the link below, you will save a little bit of money. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform. On our Discord server, we are having great conversations about all things regarding trading. One of the biggest struggles on this channel is people who use other platforms like MT4 being able to follow along. Sometimes it can be hard to find the indicators we are using on other platforms. And so on our Discord server, I have created a channel for indicator creation. And on that channel, I pinned links to freelancers who can code indicators for MT or for TradingView. So if you don't want to create a TradingView account, you can hire a freelancer for a really small fee and have them code an indicator for the MT platform. Or if you are on TradingView and need an indicator created, something unique or an indicator for a system you have developed, you can also have them code PineScript. So use the link for either MT4 coding or use the link for PineScript. Lastly, I get a lot of people that are asking me for the entire list of all the winning indicators that we have tested to date. And whereas I am not a big proponent of gatekeeping information, I've put a lot of time and effort into creating the content on my YouTube channel. And so I don't think it is too much to ask for the viewers to go through and view the content that I've spent a lot of time creating. Now, if you are not interested in supporting our channel by going back and watching the content that I have created, then I have developed a solution for you. I've created a Patreon account. I will put a link to it down below in the description. If you sign up for Patreon and you sign up for the $9 a month account, I will send you the full list of tested and winning indicators to date. I will also send you an updated list of the indicators that we are testing at the end of each week. Now, of course, you have to stay subscribed to the $9 subscription, monthly subscription, to continue to receive the updated list of indicators. But that way it will provide me with the support that I need to continue to provide the free content that I am putting out for everybody to view. Now, if you just love the channel in general and want to support us, then there is also a lower, I think $3 Patreon subscription that you can sign up for that will also help support the channel and keep things going so that way I can continue to produce the content and the open information that we are creating here in this channel and in our Discord server. Again, if you have not signed up for our Discord, then you need to do that as well. It is a absolutely free platform where we have real-time ability to chat and have conversations about trading. And again, if you want to support the channel with Patreon, then you can find the link down below in the description. Alright, as I said, today we will be testing Ehlers 2-pole Butterworth filter. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 205 indicators. And out of those 205 indicators, 80 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you could take any one of those 80 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. All right. So, as I said, today's indicator is Ehlers 2-pole Butterworth filter. Quite an interesting name. Ehler seems to have quite interesting names for a few of his indicators that he has created. This one is definitely no different. Some reason reminds me of syrup. Butterworth syrup, I suppose. You can see it here on screen. It's basically just a single oscillating line. This is a version 1. I didn't see a version 2. So that might be something that happens in the future. Who knows? Not really sure. This is a TradingView member created indicator. I've said it a few times before. It's by the user Cheat Country. He has a lot of the Ehlers indicators that he has coded out for TradingView. And so if you're interested in Ehler and Ehlers indicators, then you definitely need to go check out the rest of the indicators that Cheat Country has published underneath his profile. Of course, you can find that if you just click the link to the indicator below in the description will take you to Cheat Country's page on this particular indicator, and then you can click back into his profile, go to his scripts, and browse through all the different scripts that he has. Like I said, he has a very long list of the Ehler indicators that he has created. So, all in all, it's a pretty simple setup. You can see that, again, it is just an oscillating line. You can see that it is turning red and green, and as it does, the bars are also turning red and green, and so that's basically how we are going to be trading it. When it turns red, that is a short. When it turns green, that is a long. So relatively simple. Now let's see, what I might do is this. Might drop it onto its own plane or pane below. I think I might turn off the bar coloring, modify the colors just a tad bit here, and bump up the line weight one to another there, and that gives us a little bit more clarity to see what is happening with price action, candles, and candle colors above, but also allows us to see the oscillating line a little bit more clearer as well. That way it's not smashed into the price action, and that can kind of obstruct the view of the indicator sometimes. And so I often find that this is a useful technique if you are still trying to see what's going on with price action. If you weren't concerned with price action in the bar coloring, you could just leave the bar coloring on like this here, and you could just trade off of the bar coloring as it appears in the price action itself. But as I've said a few times before, I don't like doing that. A lot of the back testing process kind of enables you to really get an eye for price action movement, the way the red and green candles interact with each other. You just start to develop an eye over enough time of back testing and looking at the price action and how it moves, that it becomes easier and easier and easier to identify what price action is doing. And so I definitely don't want to hinder my ability to see what price action is, what price action is doing and the way it's moving. Now, in some instances, I'm not too worried about it, but for the majority of the time, I want price action to be clear. I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to watch what it's doing and how it kind of interacts and molds itself as it's moving. And then in the long run, that really again helps me to develop an eye for how price action works, and to see again kind of how it flows and works all together. So that's just a little bit of a tip. That's another reason why, if you don't go back and play with indicators, if you don't go back and back test indicators like this, then it's something that I highly recommend that you do. Not only does it help you discover what indicators work, what indicators don't. Of course, you obviously would want to tweak the settings some and kind of play around with it, so you're not just testing the same thing that I'm doing, because that's kind of worthless at that point. But a lot of the testing process again is just getting an eye for how everything works together, how everything just kind of meshes, how the market flows, and how price action kind of plays itself out. And trust me, you will find that over a long enough period of time, you will become pretty efficient at just kind of spotting areas where price action is doing, this or doing that. So there is a lot of value in back testing, not just for the sake of discovering good indicators, but for developing an eye for the market. And so it's something that takes a while. It's something that develops over time, but it is extremely useful in your overall trading and market analysis in the long run. So all right, you can see here again we have the oscillating line, the Butterworth filter line here on the bottom of the screen, thick as syrup. It is turning green and red. So when it goes green, we are going to go long. When it goes red, we are going to go short. Pretty simple. Not a whole lot to it other than that. All right, looks like we pick up the first signal to go long right about here. And unfortunately, almost instantly, it drops into a sell. But that sell does get us in to take profit, so not too bad. Picked up a long signal over here. That one also gets us to take profit. Looking kind of at the most immediate areas of support and resistance. We're kind of right in this area, and about there. I'd say probably about there, and looks like about there. It's kind of mapping out the most recent areas of support and resistance. If we scroll back too far, we see that we get this massive red candle back here. And then, of course, we have all this price action behind it. But anytime you're mapping out support and resistance, you kind of want to do that the most recent price action. And if you go back too far, then you start to, yeah, I wouldn't say it's completely invalid, but again, the most recent price action, most recent market structure is going to be the most valid, the easiest to see, and so that's going to be the areas that most people are looking at to use market structure. So looks like we pick up a short over here on this side. Dun, dun, dun. Looks like we barely miss take profits. And then it ends up flipping to a long signal right over here, which would have stopped us out. Looks like we barely missed it over here as well. And we pick up a short here. And that one also jumps to a long. Let's see what it does. And switches back to a short. That is unfortunate. Now we're in a pretty decent little short right there. That one definitely got us to take profits. Pushing right down against this support line right here. See that price action starts to reject it. These long wicks to the downside. And as it does, rolls and pushes its way back up. Not very far, but does push its way up nonetheless. We get a buy signal over here. That one barely got us to take profit as well. And there we go. It finally makes a decent little push. Breaks up above this area. And it looks like it creates a new area. Support and resistance kind of right there in this zone, as you can see it bounces up into it multiple times right here. And so as it squeezes into this zone, it's now kind of trapped between these two support and resistance lines. Doesn't really know which direction it wants to go. Pick up a sell over here, but almost immediately it takes off, giving us a buy, but right there. Still hugging within the stop range. Let's go ahead and play it out. There we go. So it finally spikes up out of there. And it comes up and it hits this next line here. And this is, again, another resistance area, resistance zone. Comes up, bounces off that area. You can see the long wick starting to form to the upside there. Let's go ahead and pay attention, see what it does. Starts to reject it and push its way back down a little bit there. So that could be a decent little signal that this is going to push its way down some. It's going to go back up. test that area again, broke above it, and then pushed its way back down. Hasn't really, I guess over here on our indicator, it's giving us a short. So if we were to line up price action, support and resistance, and our indicator, then we would be in right here at this area. Let's go ahead and play it out and see how price action works with our indicator. That's always another good kind of test to see how well your indicator works, is the way it's lining up with price action. So unfortunately, it spiked right up out of there. So in this case, our our price action reading as well as the indicator, support and resistance, was all kind of not so accurate. Now, of course, there's ways to trade price action, and it's very likely that as price broke up above this area, if you were really adamant about getting in as soon as possible, price breaks above this little area right here. If you'd kind of use these wicks as an idea, you see it breaks above with this green candle right here, then immediately it comes back down and starts to close below. Then you could have jumped in on this as it came back under, closing below that area, and that would have been, yeah, you would have gotten to take profit using the first take profit and stop loss that we use on this pair, and you'd have been at a relatively small stop if you'd have just put it right above this candle right here. And so depending on how you played it, you could have gotten a decent little trade out of there with little risk. Alright, so pick up a long over here on this side, and almost immediately it drops right back out, and then it takes off short in the direction that we originally thought that this pair was going to go in, back here. A lot of the times what they'll do is they'll kind of fake you out. They'll look like it's going short. They'll get a bunch of people into the short side. They'll then spike it up above that area, taking out everybody's stops, dragging in a bunch of long traders, and then they'll turn around and drop it back out and stop out all those long traders and pulling back in a bunch of short traders, just to kind of reset that process and do it again. See, we pick up a short over here. That one gets us to take profit. Then we get a long push down. It's now bouncing off this area of support here. And when it did, bounce pretty decent up to this next line. That definitely could have been a decent little trade. It's coming down, double bottom, almost a triple bottom, you could say. And then eventually it starts to take off. Let's catch up with our indicator here. Get a long over here. Switches almost immediately to a short here. Then a long, then a short, long, short, long. That one would have gotten us, actually let me double check this. Didn't there, then it ends up switching back over here. So nope, that one wouldn't have worked out. Short over here. Long long over there. And eventually it picks up this short, but let's see what it does. Turns around and takes off. That's what it does. Then we pick up a long over here on this side. That one gets us to take profit. And a short here also gets us to take profit. Rides that short out for a while, comes down, bounces right at that same area. See that it comes down, hits it here, comes down, tests it, comes down, tests it, comes down and tests it, and then takes off again. So that was a very high likelihood that we were going to get a bounce off this area when it came down there. Now it's pushed up really high and then rejects that area pretty quick. Anytime you get a strong push in one direction or another, then it runs headlong into a support and resistance area. Then you see it starting to reject that area. Those are decent places to potentially jump into trades. In both these instances, you would have come out pretty decent, really decent trade. Keep an eye on our indicator here. Pick up a long over here on this side. And a short there. And a long there. That one getting us to take profit. Let me measure out this one. Looks like that one barely got us to take profit over here. Then we pick up a long and a short. We'll mark those out here in just a second. Let's see. So pick up a long over here. Short right there. Then we finally get into a long. Oops. These were green, green, red, red. All right, there we go. Then we pick up a short over here. Let's go ahead and play that one out a little more. That one doesn't work out for us very well either. And a long, and that is the end of the year there. All right, so that is Ehlers 2-pole Butterworth filter. So let's go ahead and count these out and see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So we have 37 trades all together, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. 13 winning trades. And so unfortunately, that is not going to meet the 60% criteria that we were looking for. Yeah, it's interesting. It seemed like the timing of this indicator was just not good at all. It's like almost every single time it was throwing a single signal, it was right at the point where price action was wanting to reverse. It's just, yeah, really wild and frustrating. So maybe if it was slowed down a little bit, not quite as fast. I don't know. You'd have to go in and play with the settings on it, the inputs, image chart length. So yeah, maybe if we extended it out a little bit more, maybe that would help to filter out some of these areas where we just got chopped in and out. But yeah, all in all, that was not great. Not great at all. So yeah, this one's going to go on the no list, and we'll move on to the next indicator from here.
If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, all right, everybody, I will see you on the next video.